Hi, I'm Callie from MOY Resin Envy, and we're going to be doing some seahorses to help get in the mood of summer and just give you some inspiration. First off, what is most important when you're doing a mold, when you're using a mold, is make sure it's level. Because if it's not, your project is not going to be as good as you'd like. So best thing for that is the leveling boards. This is the Let's Resin board, and you can see it has the leveler right here. The bubble looks like it's in the center, but that doesn't mean you're ready to go. Here's what you need. A little leveler. You need to make sure the outsides are level as well. Okay, so you want to check top, bottom, sides, and that will show you if you need to make adjustments. And this looks like I do. And all you have to do really is just to turn the little foot. That's going to raise or lower. Let's see if that made a difference over here. That still looks good. Still looks good. And it's that simple. All right. So also remember that is glass. So you need a mat to put on top of it because your resin will adhere to the glass and not want to come off. Okay, so after that, it's time to get started. And the first idea that I have, let me get my gloves on. Is the flowers. Sorry, I should have gathered that ahead of time. And this mold is fairly small, so I'm going to do a little layer first, and I don't want to waste my resin. So what I did was pour an A cup and a B cup, 10 cc's each, which yep, these cups have little measurements on. 10 cc's each, which is approximately 3/4 of an ounce. So I'm going to mix these together, and I'm going to add some flowers. And the resin that, oh, this is cold, we use is the ice, and that tends to be really good with magnifying. And so it is a little thicker, so what I did was just set them in warm water and it thins it out a little bit. So let's mix the A and the B. There is, since there is just a tiny bit here, it will be mixed together before the 3 minutes. I mean, we don't have a lot to mix here, so you don't really have to, when you have a small amount, you don't have to follow that as closely. Just, you know, make sure it is completely mixed. You're scraping sides, bottom. This here is almost on the verge of needing a bigger cup. So we're going to be fine. Okay. What I really want to do is maybe heat it up just a little bit more. If this gets a little warm, it's going to make it a little thinner and make it easier to encapsulate those flowers then that I want to put in. All right, so let's just pour, I think I'm just going to put the flowers mainly in the middle. So I just really want to add a little bit of the clear. first. Okay. Now, when you're adding something to the resin like this, you have to be careful you're not adding bubbles, because if you put it straight down like that, you could be putting bubbles in it. So what you want to do is sort of like slide it in. I'll slide it in a little bit. We're actually going to try to put some clear on top of this then, just a little bit. All right, so keep in mind that this is going to be the back. So we'll drop a couple flowers where we want them. I think these colors are going to look like spring. Oops, I think I just broke that. Yeah. I will actually use that broken one because that's going to go be hidden anyway. Boop, boop. Okay. I think that's probably good right there. I'm just going to cover them up. Okay, one more thing before we finish our first layer. Let's do, I'm going to use this clear to add an eye to that. All right, I have this bead. I'm going to just dab it a little bit to stick on, and whoops, just get a little bit, drop in the eye, and use the tweezers. All right. Oh my gosh, that looks, I think that I'm gonna do that. Looks like an eyeball. Okay. All right. So that's that. We will check back in a little bit to see how it's going, see if we need to heat it up a little bit to get rid of the bubbles. But right now, I don't think I see any. All right, we'll be back. All right, day 2, layer 1 with the flowers cured, and also the eye that we attached cured. We're just going to add some details here to make them stand out a little bit, and we're going to do that by adding metallic pigment. And I sort of picked out a color that matches the daisies, so going with that theme. Now when you're painting with any powder, you want to make sure you are tapping off any of the excess powders, because it's going to float in your resin whenever you pour that on top of it. So yeah, anything that you want to highlight, it'll make it stand out a little more. So I just want to go through here quickly and take care of this, and so that the video is not super long, you don't have to watch me doing it. I will be back for you to see the finished pigment. Hi, I'm back, and we finished painting the metallic color, just highlighting certain areas, because we do want to be able to see the resin when I pour it. I'm using the thin ice epoxy today, and also for the colorant, the translucent yellow from Let's Resin. It comes in a pack of 15 translucent dyes, and they're very colorful, like spring colors, so check them out. I'm going to put links in the description if you are interested in taking a look. Now, so we can start with, I already mixed my resin up a little bit and heated it to try and thin it out because it was pretty cold. So I just want to put a couple dabs on where I'm going to put these beads, attach these beads, and then we can go ahead and mix that dye in. And let's see, what would be the best way of doing that? I guess I could just, you know what? I'm just going to drizzle some of it on there and then pick them up and place them. The reason I'm doing that before I add color is because I want it to be clear. I don't want it to be golden yellow where I have the beads. So let me just drizzle that on. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Okay. I'm going to wait to attach them. We'll mix this first. And this is going to be, of course, you can pick your transparency level. Of course, the more drops you put in, the less translucent it'll be. And I picked the color to sort of go with the daisies. That is definitely enough. This is, if you can see, I only put a couple drops in there and it is very concentrated. Okay, that should do it. All right, so before we pour, put these beads on here. Okay, this is going easier than I thought. Oh, spoke too soon. Trying to get them all go the same direction. There we go. Okay, that one's good. This is going to be so cool when we unmold. Okay, so that's it for the bling then, and time to pour. looks pretty even. So we're not going to have a lopsided seahorse. I will also link this leveling board in the directions as well. I think it makes a big difference. Okay. Of course, we do have some bubbles. I don't see any on the sides. What I'm going to do, I don't want it blowing around because we're pretty full. What I'm going to do is use the torch. I know people frown upon that when you're trying to get bubbles out of a mold, but I'll try to stay away from the sides. Okay, so I'm going to check back every hour, let's say, for the next couple hours to take care of any bubbles that are underneath that will rise and take care of them. And then tomorrow we will be able to unmold this masterpiece. Okay, and we are back. This is day 3 of our seahorse creation, and I am excited to see how our masterpiece came out. Are you ready? This is awesome, and I think it was a great idea of putting the eye in there. I can see the gems here, but I think next time what I'm going to do is add a little more clear at the same time. Just attaching it with clear at the same time that I put the eye on, because you can really see the eye well. They were sort of an afterthought, but I think it's lovely. So if you learned anything from this video, give us a like. If you have any ideas for the next seahorse, or want to share a seahorse that you did, please put it in the comments, and keep resining.